Hi everyone, welcome to Shannon Confidential. I'm Shannon, your host. Shannon Confidential is a podcast about just being you. Doesn't matter your size, your color, your weight, your income, man, woman, short, tall, whatever, we're all in this together. We all have the same issues, the same insecurities, the same problems. Doesn't matter what Facebook life looks like on everybody else. Everybody's dealing with something and they're just posting the good parts. So I'm here to bring us all together into a conversation where we all can relate to each other. We're all dealing with the same stuff. And I thought this might be a good time to talk about work ethic, since everybody's going back to work, or hopefully going back to work with this pandemic. And I just want you guys to really think about this. Maybe you didn't like your job when everything got shut down, but suddenly you realize it's a paycheck and it matters and it's needed. So if we all could go back with just a little better attitude and try a little harder and be a little bit more patient and a little bit more kind, you might actually get more attitude, better attitude I should say, than the attitude you had when you were working at a job that you didn't really find any enjoyment out of. So I just want you to have more fun. And the one thing I've noticed is, well, you know what I'll do? I will give you some of my experiences. So I don't want to tell you exactly where I worked, but let's just say it was the In Front Steakhouse. And I was a hostess. There's a little play on words there if you can figure it out. I was a hostess. Now I loved my job. I gave it 100%. I love talking to people, meeting new people. You see new faces all the time, some of the regulars. I truly, truly love my job. And I was working one evening and I gave a family a quote on when they were going to get seated. Let's just say it was 20 minutes. These people, and you'll know what I'm talking about, were, well, I should say this one gentleman. He got very hangry. He wanted food. He walked in hungry. I don't know, maybe he hadn't eaten for a few days, but he walked in ready to chew off my arm. So coming up to the 20 minutes wait time, he wanted to be seated, and he wanted to be seated right away. This man was downright nasty. Anybody that's out there that works in the restaurant industry, bartenders, hostess, whatever it is, or really any place you work, they're nasty people out there. Well, this guy was hangry nasty. So he starts causing a scene in the lobby, and I'm just trying to let this guy know we're going to seat him as soon as we can. Yes, I quoted you 20 minutes. The table that's we're going to put you at that fits your whole family, those people didn't quite get up right away, yada, yada, yada. This man about lost his mind. I offered him bread. I offered to go get him a glass of wine. I did anything I could to make this man less hangry. And it really wasn't working. Now, did I lose my shit? No, I didn't. Did I catch an attitude? No, I didn't. And here's the thing. If someone has an attitude with you and you do not have something personal with that person, they have not done anything personal, you have no personal relationship with that person, they just have a bad attitude, don't take it personal. They just have a bad attitude, and don't let that make you bitter. I still stayed in my character. I'm still representing this restaurant. I'm still representing my coworkers. I'm still going to do the right thing no matter what this idiot is doing or how he's treating me. Now, to let you know what happened, he eventually got seated and he had a great meal. But until then, he called for the manager and complained to the manager there that I was rude. The one bringing him food and wine, and basically I was Jesus, and trying to keep this man settled down because he was causing a scene in the restaurant. I went from what I thought above and beyond to keep this gentleman happy. He still complained to management, and before he even left the restaurant, guess what? I got fired. Yeah, I got fired. Because the customer complained so much, basically lied about me and about what I said and what I did, that I got fired. So before that gentleman stuffed his face and probably felt a whole hell of a lot better, when he walked out, he never saw me because I didn't work there anymore. A job I loved, a job I took seriously, a job, the staff, I even love my manager. Still kind of like my manager, even though he fired me. I see him every now and then, and we still talk and say hi. We're cordial to each other. But the man caused me to lose my job. Did that make me bitter? No. Pissed? Yeah. But bitter? No. I ended up working at another restaurant. It was in the Coral Square Mall. Not there anymore. Try to figure that one out. And I was a waitress at this time. And I worked the lunch shift. Now, if anybody knows, there is a certain clientele that gets, let's say, dropped off at the bar. And some of them, but not all, maybe they don't do very well. Maybe, you know, they're not always the friendliest people, but we had a decent lunch crowd. So I would work the lunch shift, and I would walk up, I would talk to my tables and, you know, just small talk, whatever, just enjoy welcoming them into the restaurant, taking good care of them. I enjoy my job because I enjoy doing it well, even if it's not a huge, you know, I'm not building rockets or whatever. I still enjoy my job. It makes the day go by better. Change the attitude, change the outcome. So again, here's another story that happened personally to me. I was being very nice to these two elderly women. They were super, super friendly to me. Everybody seemed to be happy. Everything was going well. And then one of them decided to ask me why I didn't have on a hairnet. Well, hairnets weren't required, and I did have it pulled all back in a ponytail. But she was so upset that I did not have on a hairnet. She complained to management. I think she even wrote a letter to the company. She refused to leave me a tip, all because she felt I should have had on a hairnet. What are you going to do? Nothing. I did nothing. I didn't apologize. I told her it was unfortunate. You know, the rules didn't require it, that I assured her, you know, my hair is pulled back and I am abiding by the rules of the food service, that industry that was required at the time. But what I'm trying to say to you is sometimes you're just not going to make everybody happy, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you have to have an attitude, or you have to sit like this, or roll your eyes, or ignore your customers. Because what you do have to remember, no matter what's going on, especially in your personal life or whatever happens when you're at work that day, you're representing you, and that should be the most important thing. You're representing your coworkers, and you're representing that company you work for. People aren't going to say that waitress doesn't wear a hairnet. They're going to say that restaurant doesn't require the hairnet, or that restaurant has rude servers, or that hostess at that steakhouse they don't ever get it right. You are part of a much bigger picture, and you need to remember that. You need to remember, you can't just walk around with an attitude or a scowl. It's not good for you mentally. It's not good for your company. It's not good for your job. Okay. Walt Disney was once asked, how many people do you have working in maintenance and the cleanup area, you know, at Disney? And he said, all of them. And that to me is such a brilliant answer. We all do it. The answer, I don't care if you're secretary, CEO, waitress, hostess, whatever. The answer, not my job, take it out of your vocabulary. That's never an answer. Yes, maybe it's not your job, but you find that answer. Treat people the way you want to be treated. If you ask somebody a question, hey, I'm here for a meeting, and they're like, sorry, I don't handle the meetings, and they walk away. What's the first thing you can think of? Wow, that's a really nasty person. Or that person could just say, I am not certain, that's not an area that I take care of, but let me find someone who can. Let me get that answer to you. What I have noticed in all my years and all the training that I have done, and when you're relating to your guests and putting forward their guest experience with your restaurant, with your business, with whatever it is that you're doing, people want to be heard. And people get really pissy when they feel like they're not heard. So listen. Don't take it personal, remember, and it's about body language. Open yourself up. If someone's really mad, guess what? They just might have a valid reason. You've walked into some place mad, and I'm sure you had a valid reason, and maybe you took it out on the first person you saw. Wasn't fair, wasn't right. We all have our moments. Change the attitude, change the outcome. Listen to them. Look them in the eye, speak slowly, speak kindly. Will that be the break all and fix everything? No, probably not. Maybe you're still going to get treated really rudely. But you do your part. Always do your part. Step up. Be better than you were. Be better than you can. Be better than you should. Work harder than you think you have. And do more than what you're getting paid to do. If we all did that, it would just be a happier place. I don't know what else to say. Just listen, give everybody respect, change your attitude, that might change the outcome. It'll make for a more peaceful work environment. Go back with a greater appreciation that you do have a job or you're returning to a job. If you're an employer, welcome them back. Say thank you. You can't do that without them. You need your employees as much as your employees need you. Come together, people. Treat each other with respect and kindness. And if you are just a nasty hag, treat them with respect and kindness. You be you. Always be proud of being you. And your work ethic. I do have a quote that I'd like to share to you in my Be Kind segment. And this is where I try to do like a little motivational quote that you can take with you through the next week. And my Be Kind quote of the day actually comes from Winston Churchill. And he said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Think about that for a minute. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. You bet it does. And I hope you take that into next week and everything I said, and you just go back with a much better attitude. Thank you. Now, here I'm going to give you my style secrets. And this is the part where I think we all need to share the stuff that we love, the stuff that we use, the stuff that we enjoy, the stuff that makes a difference. Don't keep it to yourself and be all selfish about it. Share it. You know, girl power. Come on, people. Let's all be in this together. So, through this pandemic, I was doing my beach walks, and I noticed that I needed some sunblock because I was Casper the Ghost. I was so white because I went to work in an office every day. So I found these two things that I have to tell you, the unsponsored, I am in love. This, you put on when you get out of the shower. So when you're a little dewy, little wet, put this on. It's a gradual tanner. Without that gradual tanner smell, you don't look orange. Well, put it this way, your pale white legs that look like you have spider veins, it hides them. It's great. This stuff is amazing. And then, because I needed sunblock, I use this. Now, there's a couple different glows. I like the Hydrogel. It's like the consistency of a Jell-O shot, but I wouldn't suggest shooting it. But it's so good. It gives your skin like this silky, wet, glowy look, like, you know, like you have baby oil on you or something. It's got sunblock, and it also has these gorgeous little sparkles in it. Like your legs are a little shiny and it reflects the light. But I think you guys would really, really like this. So I suggest going and get some wet skin moisturizer and some Hydroglow. And I would love for you to follow me on this crazy journey of starting this podcast. And you can follow me on Facebook at Shannon Confidential. You can follow me on Instagram at Shannon Confidential _. Or, you know, I'm going to start over with this. Follow me on Facebook at Shannon Confidential. Follow me on Instagram at Shannon _confidential. You can follow me on YouTube at Shannon Confidential. That's a brand new one. And you can also email me at shannonconfidential007@gmail.com. Send me your questions, your concerns. If you have something that you would love to hear me talk about and something that matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to me. Email me, talk to me, let me know what you want to hear about, and I will absolutely put that on air, as long as it's like appropriate. And that will bring me to another segment that I am having. It's called Confidential Questions. And that's where you can send me your questions, your concerns, something I've talked about, something that you would like me to talk about. You want to hear my opinion of it. And you can send those to shannonconfidential007@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody. And I love sharing this journey with you. And I will see you next week.